Hello. Right, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to combine or overlay two or potentially more images as you're editing them. So I have a stock image here of an island in Venice, and I am going to try and overlay a picture of a penguin into it because I really like penguins. So this is my first image, okay? And what I am going to do is go to File and Stock Search, and I'm going to search for a penguin image. You can obviously use your own photos. I'm just relying on stock ones for now. So I'm going to pick a picture of a penguin on quite a plain background, because when we overlay our images, we don't want lots of other stuff getting in the way. So I'll pick this little guy up here. So it's just going to load, click Apply. I was just going to think about it for a few minutes and then we can get started. The only issue with stock images are usually quite high quality and therefore take a while to load. Okay, so I now have my beautiful penguin here, and on my other tab I have my picture of Venice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and I'm going to drag it into my other image. So no, I'm going to click here, pick it up, and I'm going to drag it over my picture with my gondolas. Okay, so now you can see on the side here I've got two layers with my images on them. I'm just going to press Control- and move out a little bit so you can see my canvas size better. You can also do that up here by just dragging it up or down to zoom in. It just makes it a little bit easier to see what I'm working with. So I'm going to drag my image over and for the sake of simplicity, just make this one a little bit bigger. It's going to be quite a large penguin. Okay, now on these three buttons on the side, I am going to click and then select the overlay image when it comes up. So under blend mode, you've got the option here for an overlay. If I click that, you can see it's now got this kind of ghost of a penguin with Venice in the background. I can then play around with my transparency. So by moving this toggle up or down, my penguin is going to either disappear or become brighter. Equally, you need to toggle your other layer as well to change this transparency of that one. So if I click out of this, press these three buttons again on the side and play around with my transparency. If I drop the transparency down for one image, it will show the other as being brighter. Now, realistically, this is a little bit of a mess. Okay, it might work for what you're doing, having both images overlaid on the top. There is the potential that this is the sort of ghostly effect that you're after, but actually there is a way to do this that is more selective, which doesn't distort your colors as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete my penguin layer. So click on the three dots, delete my layer. So we're back to Venice as it was. I'm just going to put the transparency all the way back up again. So we're back with the image that we started with. Now I'm going to go back to my penguin image, which is still on this slide here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut my penguin out, because a lot of the reason that the color was distorting was because I had all of this white area. And actually, I'm not interested in that. I just want a penguin in Venice. So I'm going to do the Lasso Select tool to do this. Now I have made a separate tutorial all about how to use this tool specifically. So if you really want to get into detail with it, go and watch that. But we're just going to quickly have a go at this. So I'm going to select the magnetic lasso tool because this gives me the most control. Now I am using a mouse to do this rather than like a graphics pad or something. So our penguin could come out a little bit spikier than I'd maybe like, but you'll have to trust me on this one and it will at least show you the technique. So I'm just dragging my cursor all the way around my penguin. He said it's far from perfect, and I have where I'm streaming this, it doesn't like to be as accurate. So yeah, it's going to be a funky shaped penguin, but a beautiful one nonetheless. So it's important that you join it back up again. So I go to my start point. All of my lines should start to move. Yeah, it really is a funky shape. Sorry, guys. I'm going to press Control X, which is going to cut my penguin out. Thinking about it, give it a sec. Okay, and then we're going to move back to our Venice picture. I'm going to click and I'm going to press Control V, and it's going to paste my penguin straight in for me. Okay, like I said, it's a bit of a mad shape, but it could be worse. So now I can drag it around wherever I like. I can use the corners to change the size. So I can have him standing on the pavement. I could stick him in a gondola if I perched on top of a gondola, if I so wished. You can be a little bit more playful with it. And your penguin is appearing on a separate layer now. So you can still adjust the transparency like we were doing before. So if you want them to fade in a little bit, you can do that. But equally, you now have access to still all of these tools that are on the side that we've been using in your different tutorials. So you can still change the color, you can still use the heal and patch tool, you could still manipulate them using the dodge and burn. Because it's on a separate layer, it's only going to apply to this penguin image rather than the whole image. So this is how you can start to then splice in lots of different images and lots of different layers to create some overlays and potentially a less surreal image than I've got here. But you can start to build up more sophisticated pieces using a combination of imagery. Okay.